Hi everyone, my name is Marva. I'm a nervous system trained breathwork, body awareness, and meditation guide slash teacher. And today I'm going to show you a presentation that I do to my clients to inform them what is correct breathing. Throughout the life, there are so many things happening to us, good things, bad things, neutral things, and everything affects our breathing patterns. Especially when we go through fearful situations or emotionally disturbing situations, this immediately have an effect in our breathing patterns. And today I'm going to show you what correct or quote unquote normal breathing is versus reverse breathing and shallow breathing, and why these breathing patterns happen and how we can correct them. Meet your breath, getting to know yourself. Why do I say that? This is something that you know the answer with time and practice and awareness. So I'm not going to give you this answer. You should find out on your own if you would like to discover this journey. So usually I start by asking this question: which time gives you the answer? Could our breathing patterns be a reflection of our mental and physical well-being? And today I'm going to talk about what is correct breathing. So correct breathing is basically using our diaphragm muscle, which is underneath the intercostal muscles, this rib cage right here. And it's by using its full capacity, we're actually allowing all of our lungs to breathe in the oxygen and removing the carbon dioxide out. But there are some cases where we only fill up the half of the lungs by not utilizing our diaphragm muscle. In this case, we need to teach our body to use its full capacity so we can fill our lungs with oxygen and remove the stale carbon dioxide that usually stays in the bottom of our lungs. And the other breathing muscles are the intercostal muscles, which are the muscles that are underneath the rib cage. And by moving the rib cage side to side and also forward and backward, we're actually doing an internal workout and strengthening our rib cage muscles, intercostal muscles, while we are strengthening our abdomen, yeah, meaning diaphragm muscle. It allows us to create balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide. We maintain a more balanced breathing, therefore our cells are oxygenated better, and we receive a message to our brain saying everything is safe, because calm and deep and soft breathing means that everything is fine and our body and brain are constantly communicating, and this is a way to communicate. So what is shallow breathing? This was my main goal, to show you what this is. So when we do shallow breathing, what happens is we are only breathing like this. Either from the mouth or from the nose, but mostly the things are happening in the upper torso, and it happens fast. And why does this happen? When we are in a fearful situation, fight or flight response is activated. In dangerous situations, natural disasters, or emotional situations that are affecting us, or maybe we lose a loved one, or we, I don't know, have a fight with our boss, or again, like a natural disaster or a car accident, anything that is going to affect us is going to cause shallow breathing because the body is preparing for a fight or flight response. This is a healthy thing to do. Body does what it needs to do in the moment. But if your mobility, if your reaction in the moment, because in the fight or flight, you actually need to move the body, or if you need to shiver or shake, you need to do all that. If it's limited, if you are used to pressing down your bodily reactions, then you may get stuck in shallow breathing. And then your brain always thinks that you are in a dangerous situation because you're stuck in shallow breathing. You're always breathing fast. You're always breathing from the chest. Therefore, the brain never really receives a message that everything is fine. As it says over here, it's a temporary protection shield. It is body's intelligent way of protecting itself in the moment, but when the threat disappears, no longer exists, it should go back to its normal breathing. And if it doesn't, the person should be aware enough of their breathing patterns to be able to bring it back to normal state. And how do we return to normal breathing? Well, there are many ways to do it, and this is not something that you can theorize, intellectualize, even though it's important to know some information. It happens with experience. So the more you look into your natural breath and see how it is, and the more you know practices, techniques to apply and change its pattern, the more intuitive you become with your breath. Basically, you become friends with it. But let's say, God forbid, something happened, something fearful happened, and the threat is no longer exists. It's gone. What can you do to get back to your normal state? Because now you are in a fight or flight, and now you want to get into the more like a tranquilo, like the calm mode. And the first thing you need to do is to check if you are holding your breath, because sometimes we tend to be like this, and then if we are holding it, then again, our brain is receiving wrong signals saying there is still a threat going on. You can just drop it. You can just, or from your nose, you can release it. You can see if there's a chest tightness, bring your attention to the body sensations. If your body's curled up, because the first thing your body does when it's scared is because it wants to protect itself like this, right? It starts curling up. So if your posture is like this, you can actually change your position. You can get grounded. You can feel your feet touching the ground. You can count three things around: colors, objects, anything. You can move the shoulders a little bit, like a micro movement, so your body is not stiff or tense. Because when you are scared, you tend to get ready to fight, and then your body, your muscles get really tense. And you can start releasing audible breaths, like something like that will definitely send signals to your brain saying everything is all right. Now you can calm down, go back to your parasympathetic rest, digest, and repair mode. This is like a full-on nervous system training. I'm just giving like small bits of information, but extremely important. These are fundamentals. Long, slow exhalations. The longer your exhales and the more relaxed the heart and the breath will be and the mind will be. And try not to hold your breath. Make sure that you're not holding the breath, as we said at the beginning. And then allow reactions. That's so important. Yawning is a sign of relaxation. So if you yawn in any type of work, like slow work, I don't know, yoga, breath work, meditation, body awareness, anything that makes you yawn, is a good sign. That means, your muscles are relaxing, your brain is saying like, okay, you can let it go, you can relax, it's a safe environment. Fundamentally, what we are doing with all these practices is we are sending a signal to our brain that we are safe, because most of the times, even when things are perfectly fine, people are so rigid, tense, or restless because they don't feel safe, and they always need to do something. They always need to be defensive. They always need to be ready to go. But if you don't give yourself a break, if you don't give your mind a break, it will never really rest. Like your body will never really rest. Your mind will never really relax. Therefore, you'll just feel chronically perhaps tired or sleepy, or having less energy, anxiety, all that thing starts building up. A lot of reactions, we said, sighing, light trembling, crying, rocking, swaying. These things are important because I'm going to show you with this really funny tool, which is a breathing tool at the same time. So when you are scared, what happens is, like, like there is this huge amount of energy appears. Therefore, this needs to be a release. If you don't release this in a healthy way, it gets stuck. You may freeze instead of fight or flight. You may freeze. Therefore, you may have some side effects. And for that, we need to like let this energy release in a healthy way, not by breaking things around or yelling. There are many ways to do that. But therefore, when someone's going through a difficult situation, emotional or physical, do not limit their movements. If they need to do like sway side to side or rock or cry, let them cry. But I'm not talking about like losing yourself. Come to this reaction mode after you do the other things, like one of these 3 steps. First, ground yourself. It's a method. Then the paradoxical breathing, which is also known as reversed breathing. This also happens in fearful situations. What is reverse breathing? Reverse breathing is when, okay, so in the normal breathing, the body expands, right? You breathe in, your belly expands, your chest expands, and then you breathe out, everything is out, your body goes like it shrinks basically. But in the reverse breathing, when you breathe in, it goes in. When you breathe out, it goes out, it expands. Breathe in, it goes in. Breathe out, it expands. This also tend to happen in fearful situations. The accidentally breath, because you're sometimes hold it like that, and then when you just drop it, accidentally it reverse breathes, and then if the person doesn't have breath awareness, they may reverse breathe. This is basically car is going backwards, like at all times, and it constantly sends signals to the mind. There is still threat. There is still threat. Defend yourself. Protect yourself. You can't be sleeping. You can't be relaxing. You got to be awake. You got to be alert. You got to be this. You got to be that, even though everything is fine. I've had many clients that were in reverse breathing, and the first thing I ask them, like, did something happen recently? And they always say yes. Oh, I lost this. I lost my job, or they lost someone they love, or they're scared of something, and then this happens. But if you work with breath, if you know how your breathing works and how it changes based on situations, life situations, then you can immediately, as soon as this happens, you can stop this from happening. Yes, this is what happens to us. Fight, flight responses. Because nervous system goes through stages. It goes through fight, flight, freeze, fawn, or parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest, digest, and repair mode. The idea is not to go through these stages, fight, flight, fawn, or freeze, It's not to avoid those. Those are healthy states as well, because when you're in a car accident, when someone is about to attack you or something, what are you going to do? Of course, you're going to fight or flight. These are all automatic responses. What what we are trying to teach the body is to go through these systems in a healthy way. If you like release it, if you need to move, like, move. If you need to, let it go, like react in a healthy way. Of course, there are techniques, there are practices. Sometimes we're like hold our body, like tense up in the places where maybe all we need is like something like, you know, giving this like relaxing signal to the brain, or maybe just ground, look around. Because when you're in a fight or flight response, if someone asks you what is 2 plus 2, you won't be able to say 4, because you are way too alert and scared to be able to focus. But if you can bring your attention back to now by using your senses, because logically, technically, the environment is safe right now, but your body is still reacting. So you are trying to bring your body's reaction to the normal state. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me, message me, email me, LinkedIn me, Instagram me, whatever. My name is Marve. I'm a nervous system trained breath work, body awareness, mindfulness teacher. If you want to further explore these areas, reach out. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.